It's been over 20 years since Cadillac had a large, full-size rear-wheel drive sedan in the lineup. So when the company took the wraps off the all-new CT6 flagship in New York last year, a lot of people took notice. Now Cadillac has long been pursuing their standard-of-the-world reputation back. So is this all-new CT6 flagship sedan the vehicle designed to bring them back to that glory? Let's take a look and find out. So with a name like CT6, a lot of you are probably confused and wondering, where did it come from and where does it fit in the lineup? Now, if you guys are looking at the name CT, it actually does stand for something. It stands for Cadillac Touring, and the 6 shows kind of where it falls in the lineup of the manufacturer. Now, all of the Cadillac cars will be called CT, while their crossovers will move to an XT name followed by another number, just to show where it falls in the lineup. It's all part of the new Cadillac CEO, Johan den Hensen's naming nomenclature, kind of trying to unite the Cadillac lineup, make it a little bit easier for consumers to follow. Now, personally, I think the name is a little confusing because it does mix up very easily with the CTS. Don't confuse the two. The CTS is a full 8.5 inches shorter than the all-new CT6. That's right, this full-size sedan is 204 inches long in overall length and about 122-inch long wheelbase. It's only 2.5 inches shorter than a Mercedes-Benz S-Class. So this is Cadillac's current large flagship sedan for the time being. Now, when you look at the design of the all-new CT6, you see a lot of familiar Cadillac design language here. The headlights are full LEDs. They're standard. They come standard with the vertical stacked LED running lights, so it's instantly recognizable as a Cadillac. The grille, very bold in your face, very shiny. It's also flanking the all-new Cadillac wreathless crest emblem, which looks great. I think they're updating the emblem was probably the best thing the company could have done for themselves in their quest to make this a much more youthful, more performance-oriented brand. Now, wheel sizes, 18s do come standard on the base 2-liter. Go for any of the 6 cylinders, they'll come standard with 19s. My tester does have an optional 20-inch wheel, fills out the wheel wells quite nicely. Now, speaking of under the hood, there are several different engine configurations, several different trims available and going with this flagship theme. My tester has the top engine. It's the 3-liter TT, which stands for 3-liter twin-turbo V6. It's currently the most powerful engine offered in this car. It produces 404 horsepower. Now, if you guys want something a little bit less thirsty, you can go for a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder. A 4-cylinder in a car the size of an S-Class. Seems perplexing, doesn't it? That engine configuration only comes with rear drive, while all the V6 models come with all-wheel drive. Now, before you guys think this vehicle is too big and too large and too heavy for a 4-cylinder, know that the CT6 is about almost 1,000 pounds lighter than some of its competitors. So this vehicle rides on the all-new Cadillac Omega platform using a very exotic mixture of aluminum and other lightweight composite materials to make this structure safer, stronger, and much lighter than most of its competition. Now, out back, you have the very similar, again, Cadillac design themes. These vertical stacked LED taillights are standard. The quad outlet exhausts look very good, and they only come on the 3-liter TT models, just to show that you guys did pick the bigger, more powerful engine offering. Now, overall, I think the design certainly looks classy. It certainly looks elegant. It has a very imposing stance to it, and this is what you're basically looking for in an all-new flagship sedan like this. But I think the exterior works. Let's take a look at the inside and see if it goes with that flagship theme that Cadillac is going for. Now, first approaching your Cadillac CT6, as expected, a push-button start is actually standard equipment along with remote start. So here is the current Cadillac key fob. You just have to keep the key inside your pocket or your person. Now, if you want to use the remote start on hot days like this, all you have to do is push the lock button and then push this button right here and hold it until the vehicle starts. You can see it starts right up. It turns the air conditioning or the heat onto full blast, and you guys can set that accordingly if you guys want to in your vehicle settings. Now, to unlock the door, surprisingly, there's no touchpad on the back here where it automatically unlocks it. Like some competitors, you have to touch the button, and that unlocks the door for you. Now, looking at the interior, If you guys are familiar with the Cadillac interiors, you're going to see a lot of family resemblance in here. Now, the CT6 kind of takes it to another level. This is the company's most expensive, most prestigious offering, so you have very comfortable cinnamon-colored leather seats in my tester, very good support. Surprisingly, there's no thigh extender here. I kind of was hoping for that, but the bolsters are quite nice. They hold you in place. There are very, very nice soft leather, lots of really great materials. My tester has like a carbon fiber theme on the dash, on the door panels, more leather stitching everywhere, along with Mercedes style switches for the seat controls on the actual door as opposed to on the on the lower part of the seat. Now, stepping inside the vehicle, you can see this definitely has a much more roomier feel than a lot of its competitors. I mean, especially the CTS, this vehicle feels much more upscale. Now, shutting the door, you can hear very nice solid thunk. Again, you kind of expect that. Now, to get it out of the remote start mode, you have to put your foot on the brake and then push the button here to start up the rest of the car. Let me turn down the fan speed so you guys can hear me. You can see here, my tester is the premium luxury trim. This is above the luxury trim, and it does give you an upgraded instrument panel display. It's basically a full LCD that's interchangeable. You can change the way this looks, along with a very large 10.2-inch updated Q infotainment system. Now, this is basically very similar to the Cadillac user experience that I hate so much in the other products, but I can definitely say the company has updated nicely, and the larger screen works well here. It goes with that flagship theme that a lot of you are basically looking for. Now, the rest of the cabin, you can see here, the steering wheel feels really good in your hands. Nice paddle shifters, very nice soft leather, good 9-3 extensions where you can rest your hands. I like the wreathless crest emblem here. It looks with that newer, more modern theme. Lots of buttons on the steering wheel. We'll get into that later on. Basically, your cruise control, your driver assistance, your interchangeable modes there. The door panel, like I said, carbon fiber trim. You can also get wood if you guys prefer that. Leather stitching, more leather stitching. Surprisingly, it is hard plastic down here. I was kind of not expecting something like that in a flagship, but again, you can't really have it all. This vehicle is significantly less expensive than a lot of its competitors. Now, the dash, all soft, super soft leather stitching. More leather stitching on this part. Down here, it's even soft leather stitching on the lower part. So Cadillac didn't really cut too many corners here in the rest of the cabin. Now, coming to the rest of the lower center stack, this controls the 8-speed automatic transmission. That's the only transmission offering on either engine, tuned differently, of course, for each motor. When you put the vehicle in reverse, you can see you do have a nice backup camera with trajectory. There's front and rear parking sensors. It also has a 360-degree round view camera system that comes standard on the premium luxury trim. It's available on the luxury trim with an option package, with an enhanced vision package. This vehicle also has automatic front and rear braking, so if I'm starting to back up and I am about to hit something, the vehicle will automatically hit the brakes for you. Now, coming back to the infotainment system here, you can see Q pretty much works very similarly. There's a home page here with all your different sources. It does come standard with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, for those of you who are wondering. It's a feature that you pretty much expect. There's also a really nice recorder in here. It's basically, think of it as like a GoPro that's already built into the car. It'll record your driving, and it'll capture moments like, say, for example, somebody cuts you off and you get in an accident. It'll capture that moment so you can actually use it to your advantage or your disadvantage if it was your fault, to show to the police or whatever, to a lawyer, to basically just to help you out with basically having Big Brother look at the car or look at your surrounding views while you're driving. Now, the rest of the center stack here, very nice cup holders here. They're not heated and cooled, unfortunately, but they do have a really cool metal lower floor in the cup holder. This right here is new for the CT6. It's basically a wireless touchpad. And it also has haptic feedback, so if you don't want to get your nasty fingerprints all over that screen, you can use the touchpad. It works relatively well. It does basically the same controls as touching the screen. I personally think GM should have really gone with just a controller knob. That's what all of its other competitors go with, but it's nice that the company is thinking. They did give you something, another alternative to control all of your functions in case you don't want to get your fingerprints like that all over the dirty screen. They did also take away some of the shiny black plastic in here. I like that. There's less of that, so those of you who are OCD about keeping your interior fingerprint free can rejoice a little bit. Now, Coming to the navigation function here, let me show you the nav system. It's a pretty nice navigation system. It's basically what you're used to seeing in the other Cadillac GM products. I would like to see something a little bit more elaborate, something, you know, like that wows your passengers, like Audi's Google Earth. But again, I may be expecting a little bit too much. The system works well. It has decent graphics. This car also has what Cadillac calls their night vision system. And of course, it only works in the evening, but it does have a nice little infrared camera at the front, and it also has pedestrian and deer alert, which is very useful if you guys live in areas or back roads where there's a lot of deer at night. Looking at the rest of the center console here, you can see very good storage. This lid actually opens up both ways. It's double hinged, so you can open up whatever side you're on. There's also a wireless charging port if your phone does have that capability. For some reason my tester wasn't working, not because I have the iPhone, because it's just not working. When I tried another Android Samsung Galaxy S7 on this, it just didn't want to work. I couldn't really figure out why. Decent storage in here, 2 USBs in there. These buttons here, this controls your drive select mode. You can cycle it between your touring, sport, and then snow ice. For the majority of the drive, I actually left it in sport. The vehicle has very, very impressive driving dynamics. We'll get into that later on in the test drive vehicle or video. Like I said, here you can interchange the screen here to show different basically different parts of information that you want to see. I actually personally like to leave it in the boost gauge mode here. This vehicle is twin turbo, of course, and then this particular portion during the day I would just leave it with the speedometer on with the digital speedo in the center, and then going to this location here I like to leave it in the audio mode. You can also put a compass, your phone can also go up there, and you can also adjust a couple things. This is basically the instrument panel that I preferred. Those of you who would like something different, there's a lot of ways you can customize things in going with this theme, this luxury theme. The glove compartment, it's kind of like Jaguar Land Rover. It's a touch sensitive button right there. It opens up. It's pretty good size, damped, lined with felt. Decent storage in here. It could be a little bit better. Looking up here, you can see there's lots of more buttons. Now, this is basically your home link, your map lights, your panoramic sunroof, which does come standard on the luxury models. You can see here you can open up the sunshades individually. There is a little divider here, which Cadillac does because they allow you to open that individually as opposed to one big system. I don't mind it. I think it looks fine. It does come standard on the luxury trims. As I said, mine is a premium luxury. The seats, they are a 14-way power adjustable. There's a 4-way power lumbar on both seats. There's memory on both seats as part of the premium luxury package my tester has. One thing that I'm noticing, the headrest is not power adjustable. It's manual adjustable, which is fine, but most competitors are power adjustable. I'm nitpicking here. The headliner also is covered in kind of like a fabric material. Most competitors use a suede Alcantara just to show that this is a more expensive vehicle. Again, I'm nitpicking here. Now, one thing I do want to touch base on really quick is the fact that my tester has the optional 34 speaker Bose Panerai audio system. Now, usually I don't talk about the audio system, but this is definitely something worth mentioning. When you turn the audio system on, voila, that speaker right there rises up, and Cadillac says that all 34 speakers are in the car in 19 different locations. Now, I haven't found all of the speakers, but I'm going to believe them because this is a Bose system. It sounds fantastic. It basically rivals the $6,000 options that you find from Bang & Olufsen, from Burmester, so it's very, very good. It sounds phenomenal. It's something that I could easily get used to. It sounds better than most home entertainment systems for sure. Now, overall, the cabin of the CT6 certainly has that flagship appeal. Very nice materials, impressive technology, really comfortable seats. A couple of nitpicks here and there that's missing a couple of things, but overall, I think a lot of you are going to get in this cabin and be very impressed with what Cadillac has done. Now, one thing about the Cadillac CTS is the rear seat is a little bit on the cramped side, even by its mid-size standard offerings. Now, the CT6 definitely rectifies that. It's 8.5 inches longer than the CTS, so you have much more accommodating rear seat. Now, stepping inside the back here, you can see this is where I'd have it to drive. Now, I'm pretty short, I'm 5'7", but there's plenty of foot space under here, plenty of leg room. There's enough space in here that I could basically cross my legs if I wanted to, even if you had a taller driver. Now, shutting the door, Same nice, high quality, solid thunk to it. You have pretty good storage back here, and you can see there's 2 speakers there, vents. Now, my tester is missing one option. It's missing the rear seat entertainment package option. Now, that rolls in several different things. You'll get 2 LCD screens that pop out that are basically similar in size to the one in the front. You'll have it's basically going to be a touchscreen. You'll also get 4-zone automatic climate control. Mine only does not have it, so it doesn't have that zone. I do have a comfort package that adds heated rear seats, as well as controls here to control the rear sunshade, or the the rear sunshade on the roof, or the sunshade that's in the back. So again, it's giving you that high quality executive car kind of feel. There is nice cup holders right here with a little bit more storage. It's all nicely leather stitched, nice storage area there. The seats, they do not fold down, but you do have a nice pass through right there to go to the trunk, which is a pretty decent size. The benches themselves are very comfortable, soft leather. Now, when you guys go for the highest trim, the platinum grade, the seats back here will already come basically with that entertainment package. You'll have heated and cooled with the 4-way and massaging front seats. My tester, of course, does not have it. You do have to pay extra for options like that, but it's nice to see that Cadillac is finally offering something as impressive as this, and it's very important for buyers that are shopping in this full-size luxury sedan segment. Now, a power opening trunk is standard on the luxury trim, so I highly suggest going for at least that trim level. And you can see here the trunk is a little bit on the small side for the CT6, especially when you go for the Class. Now, that's not to say it's small. It is a big trunk at about 15.3 cubic feet of space. You can see it goes in very deep. There's some nice storage underneath here with a temporary spare tire. I did not expect to find that. Most competitors give you run flats or fixed flat kits. So overall, the trunk capacity of the CT6 definitely works, but those of you who are used to like an S-Class, a 7 Series will find a little bit more space in those vehicles. Now, underneath this very long hood, you're actually going to find a pretty small engine for full-size sedan standards. This is the top engine that's available in the car currently. It's a 3-liter twin-turbo V6, an all-new engine design, different versus the 3.6 that's in the CTS V Sport. Now, in this application of the car, it produces a very impressive 404 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. Now, all-wheel drive is standard on this model as well. Rear drive is available if you guys go for the 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder. Now, all that power goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. The vehicle weighs about just over 4,000 pounds. And fuel economy is also pretty good. It's rated 18 in the city, 26 on the highway. Premium is required for this motor. Now, if you guys think this is a little bit too much, the 2-liter turbo is available. As I said, that engine is rated at 265 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque. It weighs also like 400 pounds less than this model, so it does move out the vehicle smartly. There's also a naturally aspirated 3.6-liter V6 that can actually run on regular gas, rated at 335 horsepower. But of course, I've got this top motor. Let's get it out on the road and see how it all works together, shall we? Now, I've had my fair share of newer Cadillac vehicles to show you guys, and I have to say the entire Cadillac lineup is really surprising. Now, it's a bit of a shame because a lot of you don't realize just how good these all-new Cadillac sedans have become. They've basically strayed away from that grandpa's Cadillac thought that we all know Cadillacs as, and they've become very much lighter, potent, fun driving machines that offer a lot of luxury and tech, especially for buyers looking in this segment. So this is my first time driving the all-new CT6, the company's flagship. Let's take a look and see how it all works, shall we? Holy crap! Really? Oh! Holy moly, this is good! I'm pretty speechless. Wow. Okay, so, as I said, this rides on the all-new Omega platform, and when you pair it with this wonderful V6, ooh, it makes really good noises. This car accelerates pretty darn well, and it's going to impress you the moment you basically leave the dealer lot and take this baby out for a test drive for sure. Wow. But anyways, on to the rest of the driving dynamics. The seats, as I said, extremely comfortable, very good visibility. It's a big sedan, but it feels a lot smaller than its size would suggest. This is a very, very comfortable, sporty feeling, full-size luxury sedan, and I'm very impressed with how this car drives, honestly. Wow. Oh! Holy crap! When you pair this potent V6 with all-wheel drive, man, this thing really pulls. Holy smokes. Ooh. All right, so Cadillac says this car will get up to 60 in around 5 seconds. It feels even quicker than that with that all-wheel drive grip, this quick shifting 8-speed. Woo, this car feels like it gets to 60 in under 5 seconds. Now, it's not quite as potent as the twin-turbo V8s in its competitors, but again, this car is a lot lighter. What you really are feeling is a little bit less torque, but honestly, with that reduced weight, it feels almost as fast. Really, you're nitpicking if you guys got to go for the V8. You're just used to a V8, but this really is impressive the way it goes. Now, going down the road, you can really feel this car's structures, or the solidity in the structure. It soaks up all the imperfections. I have it in its sport setting now, and it rides like a dream. It's so controlled, it's so smooth, it's so quiet in here, except for that lovely exhaust note. Now, my tester does have an optional enhanced handling package, what Cadillac calls it. It basically gives you the magnetic ride control dampers. It gives you active rear wheel steering, which I honestly don't really know if I felt it around at times, but when you go around corners, the vehicle basically just goes where you point it in a way that you wouldn't expect a full-size sedan to do. And wow, a driver's full-size sedan. This is fantastic, guys. I'm really impressed. I mean, this kind of a car is not what I would prefer, but I really like the way Cadillac has set up this all-new CT6. Holy smokes. Now, one thing that I do want to talk about really quickly that I didn't mention earlier in the interior shot is my tester, being that it's a premium luxury model, comes standard with an enhanced visibility package. It gives you one option that Cadillac has been working on for a while that really, they had to fight with the government to approve this. When you flip this little switch here for the mirror, voila, you have a rear view camera for the rear view mirror, which I have to say confused the heck out of me the first time I drove it. But when I got it out on the highway, it's fantastic once you get used to it. I mean, it shows basically everything that you want to see. It shows what's in your blind spot. You don't have to worry about a tall person back there cutting off your view with their head. The one thing I didn't really like about it is at night the graphic quality isn't very good. They need to work on, I guess, the settings or something, beefing up the camera image quality or something like that, because it's a little bit grainy at night. So at night I use the standard mirror. During the day like this though, wow, it's very, very interesting, and I left it pretty much in this mode. Oh! Holy crap, this car is good. This is fast. I am super, like this basically reminds me of the CTS V Sport that I fell in love with. However, you have all-wheel drive grips. For those of you who wanted that performance of that CTS V Sport but want all-wheel drive, this is the car that you need to go for. Now, when you're going to drive it like a luxury sedan, I'm going to put the car back into its comfort touring setting. I'm also going to set the adaptive cruise control. Now, my tester does have the optional driver assistance package. It rolls in adaptive cruise, automatic emergency braking, front and rear. Lane keeping assist is actually standard on the luxury trims, lane departure warning, blind spot monitoring. I mean, this basically will drive itself. Now, the CT6 will be the first Cadillac model to introduce the company's all-new Super Cruise, which is basically a rival to Tesla's autopilot system. It's not available yet. The company's still working on it, but in the meantime, you basically can use this vehicle's adaptive cruise like all the other competitors. It will keep you in the lanes. It will follow the car in front of you to a full stop, which is something you expect. And everything is showed in the very nicely displayed heads-up display here, which comes optional on the premium models. Now, sometimes the system will definitely ask you to intervene, just like there, where it'll flash a red light in the head-up display and it'll tell you to brake. Most of the times it'll come to a stop, but again, this is still a just partial autonomy. You really need to be paying attention. This is not like Tesla's autopilot system. So those of you who aren't used to something like this, it'll definitely scare you from time to time. I've become pretty accustomed to the way these adaptive cruise controls work, so I know exactly what situation to use them in. This is typically not the best. You really need to be out in the open road in stop-and-go traffic. You need to be following the car in front of you, because if you are fast approaching traffic up ahead that's come to a stop, the system won't react quick enough, just because it's not really at that phase yet to follow traffic at that distance. But again, the level of driver assistance technology here, the luxuries here, the power, the quietness, the speed. I mean, honestly, this has all the right recipes for an executive full-size sedan, and Cadillac delivers it to you at a much cheaper price than its competitors. Now, another thing that is new for the CT6 that I haven't tested in any other GM product is it does have the company's automatic start-stop technology. All the other manufacturers have it. It's probably not going to work right now because the temperature outside is a stifling like 93 degrees plus the humidity here in DC. So we're over 100. The engine will basically come to a stop or shut off at whenever you come to a full stop, and it actually restarts very seamlessly. I'm very impressed with that. It's much smoother than a lot of its competitors. So GM or Cadillac did it right when they introduced this start-stop feature in this car. Now, typically you wouldn't want to attack corners in a vehicle this large. Full-size sedans, especially luxurious ones, are all about isolation. They're all about basically taking you away from all the nasties of the outside world, and the CT6 delivers in that regard, but it also adds a new level of driving involvement that I haven't felt in a full-size luxury sedan in a long time, to be honest. The steering is an electric power steering system, but when it's in sport mode, it has a lot of feedback, actually, and you can see the vehicle changes directions really quickly. You wouldn't expect that. I mean, this feels like a much smaller car than its size would suggest. It feels like that in the handling and the corners and the way it accelerates. I mean, I'm really confused on how Cadillac did it, honestly. This drives brilliantly. It's one of the best driving full-size luxury sedans I've ever tested, without a doubt, and I cannot wait for the company to work on a V version with an available V8 twin turbo or something like that. Oh, yes. Holy, oh, I could never, ever get tired of that. And that's probably why this car's gas mileage hasn't been as good as it should be. I mean, it's rated at 1826, but I've only been getting about 15 because my right foot likes to get a little feisty with the gas pedal. But for those of you who are a little bit more conservative, you probably could do better. Honestly, after my week's worth of testing, I was getting about 15 in the city. On the highway, I got it up to about 25. So it's not really saving you any more gas than a V8 twin turbo. A Mercedes S550 is rated at like 1626, honestly. So you're not going to buy this because it's more fuel efficient than its competitors. You're going to buy it because it's lighter, it's cheaper, it handles better, and it's a very, very impressive car, to say the least. Now, coming up to the conclusion of my review for this all-new CT6, I have to say I'm very impressed with the car, as you guys can tell. There are a couple of things I want to talk about that I want to knock on the car. It is missing a couple of features that you expect. My tester at $80,000 is missing the massage seat function. It doesn't have swiveling adaptive headlights. It just has a little cornering light that comes on whenever you turn the wheel. I kind of wish it had that feature. It's kind of something they could have easily added. But overall, if you want everything that your German competitors have, you need to go for that top-of-the-line platinum trim that gives you the massaging seats, because I'm missing that function right now. The cooled seats in the back, and then the 4-zone automatic climate control. Now, with all that said, you're probably wondering, what does this car actually start with, considering mine is over 80 grand? It starts at $54,000 for a base 2-liter turbo with rear drive, and these come pretty well equipped, as you expect. That basically is in line with a BMW 5 Series or Mercedes-Benz E-Class, not an S-Class. An S-Class starts at over 90 grand, so Cadillac is saving you $40,000 by going with this kind of a vehicle. So it's interesting, if you guys are looking for something that offers basically S-Class spaciousness and just size-wise, this is it. You're basically getting it for E-Class money. Now, being that mine's the 3-liter twin turbo tester, it starts about 8 grand higher than the 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder, which is kind of to be expected. I mean, this you have to pay for basically the upgraded engine offerings. But going from the The base to the luxury model is like another $5 grand and adds a lot of features. The premium luxury, I think, is like another $3,000 on top of that. Now, my tester has several options, as I said. It has the driver assistance tech package. It has the enhanced handling package. It has a comfort package. It has that $3,700 34 speaker Bose Panerai audio system, worth every penny, half the price versus the Bang & Olufsen's you find in its competitors. All in, mine's just over 81 grand. Now, that's a lot of money, especially for a Cadillac, and it is a little bit of a sticker shock, but I have to say GM Cadillac has delivered a vehicle that's world-class in its handling, in its responses, in its technology, in its power. Really, you just have to get past, you know, the hole that Cadillac has dug itself, and they're really trying to come back. They're trying to become that standard of the world bearer again. And this is definitely a vehicle that's going to impress a lot of you, especially if you're trying to trade in your German or Japanese luxury sedan. Now, if you guys go for that platinum trim, like I was talking about, that has everything, this vehicle will approach $90,000, which is again a new plateau for the Cadillac sedan lineup. But it's something that will definitely surprise you, and it still undercuts its competitors by a significant margin. If you guys are okay with that, you're okay with not having the flashy Mercedes, BMW, or Audi badge or Jag badge that your neighbor has, I definitely recommend checking this one out. It'll impress those, especially if you're looking for American luxury. Anyways, if you guys are also looking to see the latest cars I'm testing, make sure you follow me on Instagram, like us on Facebook, and as always, keep subscribed to the YouTube channel for all the latest reviews. I hope you all have enjoyed my overview of the all-new 2016 Cadillac CT6. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you all in the next video.